Hey there, game gurus. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the R-Cade Ultimate and some new things we could do with it. We'll show you right after this.
Game on.
Okay, so you can see right here I have my R-Cade Ultimate version 1. That's right, this is one of the first ones that came into the States. This was sent to me back in the day for review from R-Cade. It's one of a handful that were the first to come into the country. This is a version 1 unit. Can't get much older than this one. And for the most part I've kept it pretty much stock. With that being said, I did add an Link bit pixel display up here. And of course I've added my Tron joysticks on here as well. My gate switches, my 4 8-way gate switches on here. And I've also changed out the spinner tops to my Tron tops. And of course I have the artwork on here from GRS Arcade. So aside from that, it's a pretty stock unit. One of the good things that was always good about the R-Cade Ultimate was it was very like a Swiss Army knife. It has HDMI ports. You can plug other consoles into it. You could even plug in, which came with it back in the day, was this little blast. This had like Pac-Man and stuff, the arcade ROMs, Pac-Man and Galaxian on here. You plug that in, connect it, use the controller ports that are on here. They were very good for a long time. All kinds of things on here. It came with a bunch of games on here. Some people said some of the games were okay. I enjoy all the games, from Atari, ColecoVision, R-Cade, old and new. There was definitely a lot of games on here that you could use. But of course you could also plug in your computer or stream your display. There's all kinds of things that were added here, including bring your own games that were on here as well. That also kind of became the problem. They were really good at adding lots of features. There was every week pretty much you had a firmware update. You got all these new features and all these new ways to do things. Even swapping joysticks around so you could play Tron the right way on here with the spinner over here and the joystick over here. Lots of great stuff. But that also came with a downside. Now, if you did bring your own games or used things like coin ops or add-on X, almost every time you did a firmware upgrade it would break something and you had to start all over again. And it got to the point where I stopped using coin ops and those things because an update was going to come out and I'd start all over again. It would break it. It became too much of a hassle. So then this was still used. I still enjoyed it, but it was kind of left stock and that was the end of it. Fast forward a little bit to here to 2024. And I've released my GRS Viper and software called R-Cade that we're releasing for our Build-A-Cades and the iiRcade KVM switcher, which we've just started releasing, and people are really starting to experience R-Cade. And R-Cade is designed to run on the R-Cade chipset, which is what, well, the Viper runs on. Well, it just so happens that the R-Cade Ultimate also runs on an R-Cade chipset. So I'm surprised most people didn't know about this. I know I didn't, but I've been kind of away from the ecosystem. I kind of kept my machine stock. But R-Cade has actually been around for quite some time for the R-Cade Ultimate. And it's very, very easy to install. In fact, all you really need is a USB drive. I would suggest something fairly big. I used a 512 gigabyte. Maybe you don't need anything that big, but when you use a USB drive, and the link down below will show you where to load the software, and you're going to use Rufus to basically burn the R-Cade Unleashed, or I think R-Cade Unchained. I think it's actually called R-Cade Unchained. You're going to put that on this little drive, and it's going to dual boot your machine. Basically, once you go through the install process, if you turn your machine on without the drive installed, you'll come to your R-Cade just the way it always was. Your coin ops, add-on X, the original games, nothing changes. However, if you do put the drive in and load the bootloader and it detects it on boot up, it'll launch R-Cade. So that's what we'll do right now. Now, I've already burned the R-Cade software for the R-Cade Legends Ultimate called R-Cade Legends Unchained. I've already done that. And now, since I have a couple extra things in here, if you have just the R-Cade, you can plug it right into a USB drive. It's going to go into your first USB port on the machine. It'll boot from that. Now, since I do have my gate switches in here, I have the Link bit pixel display up here, I actually have a hub. So I'm going to turn this thing off right now, just to show you. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm just going to turn it back on. And you'll see it boots up to the R-Cade logo, and it's going to come up to the standard machine that you always saw before. So let this thing come up here. It takes a few seconds. And I was right now saying no signal, but you will see a signal right now. There we go. The Legends Ultimate. So the machine you always loved will be here just as it was before. Just give it a couple of seconds to come up. Okay, we can see it booted up as it always did. We have all of our games we've always had before. If you go to the top, we have the lobby and then the bring your own games, add-on X, add-on X, and so forth. These things are on here. Now, since I've already burned my USB drive over here, I have a small hub which I installed over here. It's in the back of the machine. I'm just going to plug that into the very first port here on the machine. And when you do that, like I said, I'm using a hub because I have other things attached. When you go under your add-on X, you'll see this new one called Legends Unchained. If you press A on that, you come up to the Legends Unchained icon. When you click on that with the A button, I got to select it first, there we go. Kind of have to select things first, right? It'll come up here. Now mine's saying unsupported device, because again, this is the original version 1, Legends Ultimate. It actually does work, but it does say unsupported because it's really designed for the other machines, but it works totally fine, at least it has for me, on my original Legends Ultimate. But it says it's unsupported, we'd like to proceed anyway. I'm going to say, hell's yes, use the joystick, hell's yes. And you have a bunch of options down the bottom. Now, it tells you all about the license. You're probably going to read this. It tells you you're doing this at your own risk. If this thing does fail, only have yourself to blame. They're not going to take blame for it. It's something you're doing totally on your own. But you have an install, backup, uninstall, and exit. I would definitely recommend first doing the backup. That's going to take the bootloader of the machine and make a backup copy. So if something does go wrong, you have the potential to unbricking the machine. But I've already done that backup. When that's done, go to the install, and that's going to take a few minutes. Again, I can't show you now because I've already done it. I don't want to take a chance of running it a second time, but it probably took a good 5 to 10 minutes. Now, whenever I run these things, I have them running off a small UPS in case power goes out. The machine will not die on me for a good 15 minutes, which is long enough. We're just going to click on the install, and that's it. It puts a little flag in the bootloader to say if I detect the R-Cade Ad Games Legends Ultimate Unchained USB drive, it'll boot it and load that. When it doesn't detect it, it comes up normal. So I'm going to exit this right now, and it's version 1.5. I'm just going to exit right now. And when I do that, it should take me right back here to the normal screen, which you see right here. So I'm going to power it off, and I'm going to power it on again. When I do, it's going to detect that I do have the USB drive connected through this little wire here to my little hub. So let's go do it. I'm going to turn this thing off, and it should detect it and load R-Cade. Let's find out. And you can see R-Cade logo. It's starting up the system right now. So basically you can get the Experience R-Cade, which has all these different emulators built in. If you have the bit pixel or bit LCD display through the USB, it will connect and control that as well. If you have my gate switchers installed, it'll control that as well. So and light guns will be supported. So if you had the AT games and you always have the hope of having some light gun games that they never actually came out with, well, you can go out and get yourself a GRS Sinden Target Pro. Excuse me, Target Pro here, and you can connect that to the USB port hub and play light gun games. You can even connect the GRS Star Wars Flight Yoke and play Star Wars. Or you can plug in the Ikari Warrior Super Joystick and use that as well. All those things will be here, things that you can use and play now on the R-Cade system. Okay, the machine is all booted up now. You can see it's displaying the R-Cade logo here on the At Games Legends Ultimate. Now the beautiful thing about this is now a dual boot system. So when you unplug the USB drive, the machine will be just like it always did before. But when it's connected, it can now control your bit pixel display. It can control your GRS gate switches if you install that. And you can load a bunch of games. You can see right now if I go through the menu, we have Cody, which you see changing on the screen up here. You can play movies on the machine up to 4K. Play music, even surf the internet. There's a very basic browser in here. They're going to upgrade that, but there's a basic web browser you can do that. And then you have some games installed here. So we have AMS. This is what I installed right now. Now you can install more. I'm going to show you ones that I personally installed right now. Amstrad CPC, of course the Atari 2600, Atari 5200, which should have been the next one. The 2600 plus should have become the 5200 plus. They should have gone to the 7800 plus Atari so quickly, but I have that here as well. The Atari ST, Commodore 64, VIC-20, Cave Story is one of the games that comes built into the operating system. ColecoVision, love how that logo comes up there, by the way. And of course, Daphne. You want to play Dragon's Lair, you want to play Space Ace, you want to play Astron Belt, you can play Daphne games on here. Dino Thor is on here. Of course, got to play Doom or Doom 2. MS-DOS games, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Gear, of course, MAME. And of course, when you're in MAME, like I said, if you have my gate switches in here, when you pick, say, Pac-Man, it will automatically switch the gates to a 4-way. When you play a game like Scramble, it'll put it back to 8-way. That's kind of what's neat about the arcade system. It's all automatic and easy to use. The Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, the Sega Mark III Master System, the Sega 32X, Sega CD, Mr. Boom, NES, Super NES, Nintendo 64, the Magnavox Odyssey 2, and one of my favorite systems, the PC Engine, and more importantly, the PC Engine CD-ROM. Yeah, that's what it's called, CD-ROM. It's in there. Quake, Rick Dangerous, Vectrex, Virtual Boy, Castle Wolfenstein, Sharp 68000, and of course the Sinclair Spectrum. Now, this is right now, I have a 512 gigabyte USB drive connected to my hub on here. I still have tons of space. I can put PlayStation on here. I can put a lot more on here. This is just what I've done for right now. I just did it the other day. Just to show you real quick, if I go over here, let's say to the PC Engine ROM, I can load one of my favorite games. Go in here. It can download artwork. I haven't done that yet for here, but you can actually download the artwork. But I'm going to go down to one of my games that I never was able to play because it wasn't released in the States. It's the Castlevania, which the PC Engine CD-ROM, everyone says, and I agree, released the best version of Castlevania. I want to turn the volume up just a little bit because I can still control the volume here. And we come up to the PC Engine CD-ROM logo. We'll hit the button here to start it. I think it's actually this button. There we go. And of course the name comes across. You can change this artwork as well. One of Konami's best games ever made.
Vor langer Zeit lebten die Menschen glücklich und zufrieden. Niemand bemerkte den Schatten, der sich langsam über ihnen ausbreitete.
Such a fantastic game and beautifully artworked, beautiful gameplay, great animation, and you can now play that on your R-Games Ultimate with R-Cade. And basically, it's treated very much like Battlesphere as far as the controls would go. If I hit these two buttons right here, it'll take me back out. And of course, it supports the Ethernet port, so you can download games directly to the system. I'll show you the menu really quickly for R-Cade. So we have the Kodi NetPlay Lobby. Some of the games like in MAME and Sega Genesis, you can actually play other players throughout the world who is running R-Cade as well. And my understanding is it could be any version of R-Cade. As long as you have the same ROMs and the same version of R-Cade, you could be on the R-Games Ultimate, you could be on the GRS Viper, you could be in the iiRcade KVM Switch. Any one of them will be able to play each other throughout the country. And you don't have to worry about servers being shut down because you're making the server here. We have things here like input settings, where you can configure all your controllers. But what's good about R-Cade, and which why I like it for my Viper, is they built in a lot of things like light guns, GRS Sinden Target Pro, the Sinden light guns, the Wiimotes you can use as well, trackballs and spinners, oh my, built right in here as well. There's advanced settings where you can actually change how this thing is going. In fact, You want to connect a Bluetooth controller nice and easy? R-Cade makes it extremely easy to connect a Bluetooth controller. Want to play a 4-player version of Ninja Turtles? Well, you got 2 controllers here and a couple of Bluetooths. 4 players. There you go. The beauty of R-Cade. If I go back out of here, you go into game settings. You have all these options here, including the Moonlight server, and the Moonlight will let you stream Steam or your PC directly onto the R-Cade system. It's now on your iiRcade Ultimate. It's all built in. It's right here already. Another cool thing is the game downloader that's built in. Of course, you have to accept the license agreement and you have to legally own the games. But if you go into the game downloader, we have all these different games. Now, not all of these are active, but a lot of them are. You can go here, pick the games you want. It'll download them automatically. You don't have to get them any other way. However, if you have your own collection, all you need to do is get the IP of your machine and basically do a / the IP number, and then log into the drive and copy the ROMs over your network. Easy. Easy. So that's really it. Now, again, right now it's running. If I go back here and I go to quit, and I will say this is running version 2.2, or actually 2.0.2, which has a lot of fixes in it thanks to the Viper. A lot of my troubleshooting and testing with the team, they added some enhancements which they ported into the AtGames Unchained version here, so it's same 2.02. So if you do have a Viper, you can play people here on the AtGames Legends Ultimate. And again, you're future-proofing yourself because updates will be downloadable on here, but it's all your stuff. It's not going to break anything. You still want your AtGame stuff? That's still there, and I'll show you. I'm going to quit. I'm going to shut the machine down, just like so. Yep, shutting it down. And we're back to my default logo because the machine is turned off. Hit the power button, unplug the USB. If I turn it back on, your machine is off stock. There's nothing there, other than what you put there before, of course. The bootloader is saying, I don't detect a USB drive. I'm going to load the original AtGames firmware. And there we go. And you're back to your stock system. Everything is still here. And if you had the add-on X or CoinOps, that would still work as well. But you want to go back to R-Cade, which is pretty much how I'm going to run mine from now on. Just turn it off, reconnect your drive, power on again. It'll detect the USB drive, and it'll switch everything over to the R-Cade system. And it'll use the same controllers. It'll use the GRS controllers as well. The big-pixel LCD displays it'll work with. So the light guns is the best thing too. If you wanted to play light gun games, of course, that'll connect right up here. You can play that as well. Bluetooth controllers will connect as well. And you can load games that you want very easily on your own. And I'm sure other people will start making ROM packs for R-Cade. But here we go. And that's all I really had to show you guys today. Again, I'll put links down below to where you can download the firmware for the USB drive that you can now do this. And just load Rufus, which is a program that will take that file, burn it to a USB stick. Then you too could be loading R-Cade on your AtGames Legends Ultimate. And they have for other systems too. I haven't tried them yet, but as I do, I will post them as well. But again, when you do something like this, you can have play people with my Viper or my iiRcade Viper systems, and you guys can now play games in between them all. But that's it for this video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. It's 1 second for you, but it really means a lot to me. If you're not currently a subscriber, I would appreciate you guys subscribing. I have a lot of new products coming out, a lot of cool things like this still happening that you'll only know about if you're subscribed to the channel. But that's it for today, guys. So, I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you liked the video. And remember, as fun as all this stuff is, it doesn't take presents over family and friends. Always make sure you let them know that you love them. But till next time, guys, game on.
Game on.
climb up the ladder, put the end and sing yourself around. Open the umbrella up and answer the phone. You can do it with a partner, you can do it all alone. Scale up the ball, how high can you go? You surely break her heart if you get the too slow. Pound upon the chest and take an elevator ride. You can get off at the top and then you look from side to side. Come on, come on, come on, come on to the Donkey Kong. To the Donkey Kong. Come on, come on, come on, come on to the Donkey Kong. To the Donkey Kong. Tiptoe through the tulips and then raise your hands up high. There's a fire down below and you don't want to catch inside. Hide behind each other and don't even make a sound. You're in trouble now, take the elevator down. Jump over all the barrels and let out a little scream. Duck underneath the pipers and the coconut cream. You pick that hammer up and then you put the fire out. Now we think you know what Donkey Kong is all about. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, Donkey Kong. Come on to the Donkey Kong. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, Donkey Kong. To the Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong.
Are you looking for that arcade experience at home? If you don't have the space for a full-size arcade in your house or endless funds, then you need the GRS Build-A-Case. It's arcade quality without the arcade price, from someone you can trust. The GRS Build-A-Case is a very simple, easy to assemble, 1/6 scale arcade computer you can build yourself. You can buy interchangeable controllers for every gaming option you need to play the games the way they're meant to be played. You can also design your own artwork or purchase artwork separately to make your GRS Build-A-Case look like the machine of your dreams. The GRS Build-A-Case is also the only home system STEM certified. Come see what all the YouTube creators are raving about. GRS Build-A-Case.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
I just love talking to the vendors because we're supporting real people here. You know, these are people's passion projects. These are people's companies. These are the things that we pour our life into to share with others. So it's really beautiful to see. It's really beautiful to see. And one thing that I really want to show you over here, let's take a look at these mini cabs. Because last night I was playing them. I was blown away. These cabinets are amazing. I have got to show you my favorite one, which is right here, Robotron. This one is incredible. Although I love NBA Jam, I love Mortal Kombat, Donkey Kong Jr., Arkanoid, this is fun with the paddle. All of these buttons work. So you actually press the button to put the coin in, and then you press start. I'm telling you, this is like the authentic mini experience. So, and then the game starts up, and then you play. Look at this. And then you can customize this. There's so many amazing things that you can customize with this. And there's like stuff on the back. You can put a controller. It comes with a racing wheel. There's the roller ball attachment. You've even got mini guns. Like if you're playing a light gun game. I mean, it's got it all. It's got it all. It's really incredible. This is a really amazing machine. Hey, does anybody want to chat for a second about these amazing machines here? I mean, it's totally cool.
I could try and get my dad here. I just texted him.
Yeah, you just texted him? We'll come back. We'll come back. But it's actually, if you look at the back of the badge, they're on the back of the badge. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your booth or the name of your company?
So we're here with Glenn's Retro Show.
Okay.
We make new controllers for older games.
New controllers for older games. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And I really, really love all of these arcades here. I gotta say, Star Trek is also one of my favorites too. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.